I think Spain, the way that they've played, the press, they go up higher soon. They all come from behind it, and they haven't given England a breather at all. They've dominated possession, but Spain's final ball will have to improve. They're going to hurt England, because England, Stones has been tremendous, I think, a standout player for England.
I think when Spain have had, 70% possession, you're looking at your centre-halves and your full-backs, your wing-backs to chip in, to make sure in that low block, you stay concentrated. I think it's been difficult for England to get out. We talked about the box midfield before the game. Could they utilise that? But Rodri in the middle of the fight is just absolutely pulling the string. England can't get out. I think when they do get out, I think that ball quick and sharp out to Saka. I think Cucurella has done okay up to now. But with Walker going on the overlap, if Saka can just get the timing right and get that one versus one situation, I think that's where England reflected light.
Spain have certainly had the most possession. They've been higher up the pitch than England. Not quite the final ball though, Juan, as Mike has said.
Yeah, Spain didn't create too much for the ball possession that we had. We are playing in England's half, but we need to get the ball quicker to Nico and to Jamil. Jamil hasn't shown so much so far. Luke is playing a good game, so I hope in the second half he can stay up.
I think when we're talking about the balance and when Trippier was in the side, I think defensively he's done sound. But when you've got a left-footed player playing on that left side, you talk about when they go, when to drop off, and body positions. I think Luke Shaw today has epitomised that. I think he's been essential in what England have had to do defensively and on the counter.
Well, I think we've got lots of examples of that. I suppose the big question is how long will he be able to last in this game, because he's not played for so long, really.
Yeah, that's it. But we talked about, before the game, how would Yamal sort of affect the game today, and Rio said he has to get tight. And if you're looking at all these clubs here, he's doing exactly that. He knows exactly the position needs to be. He waits, and then as soon as he sees him out to get in a position where he can hurt him, then he engages. That we're talking about. It's just brilliant play. It's know-how, it's experience. The player that's played that position so often, and he's just been outstanding in that, Rio.
Yeah, you look at the way that he plays, Luke Shaw. He's great when he gets his body positions right, and he's very, very alert. Here, again, covering inside where the danger is, and that's the centre of goal. You can get a shot off there quite easily if you're not alert. But if this is the thing that gives you the balance we talk about, opening that left foot out and seeing the rest of the pitch and being able to spread it. We said the other side of the pitch is where you can be dangerous. And again, 1v1, right, try me on the outside. The 17-year-old boy, full of beans, one of the players of the tournament. Luke Shaw's kept him quiet for 45, but we've got a long time to go.
What do you think De La Fuente will take from that first half in terms of the way Shaw has gone on Yamal?
Yeah, I think maybe Carvajal could help a little bit more going forward. So Luke Shaw will be in more trouble with two players against one. Hopefully he can do it in the second half, but Luke is playing really, really well today.
England have struggled on the ball, Mike.
Yeah, which is a little bit of a disappointment, if I'm being totally honest. I thought that extra man in midfield would help them. They've got players where they want to receive the ball, but when they get on it, they looked a little bit nervy. It's down to England as well, but you have to be a little bit more brave. But it's also down to this Spain's press as well.
It's really
on that
good, isn't it?
first phase, they really do box you in, and it's now for England, when they get on the ball, just to be calm. Do the count exactly like against Netherlands. Of course, you're playing a better opposition. Spain are the best team in the tournament up until now. But I think when you get it, they've been yearning out to be playing in these positions where they can affect the game. But when you get on the ball, you have to play the right pass.
They can't keep doing that, England. They can't keep turning over the ball immediately when they win it back, because Spain have been poor at the next phase, which is in terms of decision-making and final ball. Yeah. They won't be like that for the whole game. You can't keep giving quality players chances.
But Spain are winning the tactical battle at the moment.
I will believe so, yeah, because we're dominant the game. We are doing what we want to do. We're just lacking the last pass, like we were saying. We need to create a bit more outside the box.
I suppose it says something, doesn't it, when we're picking out Luke Shaw and John Stones and possibly Gay as well as our best players. But John Stones has been his usual calm self.
Yeah, for sure. So we know John Stones, what he produces at Man City in terms of on the ball, but in terms of his one-on-one defending and his positioning in this game today, it's been spot on. I mean, Rio, you're a centre-back.
Yeah.
Talk me through his the movements.
Nico Williams is the last man you want there on that position, 1v1. But he was patient, he got rocked, but he recovered very quickly and he was decisive with his tackle. He's been dominant in the box in the air, but also on the floor, not roughing up Morata at times, being physical when he needs to be, but he's also been great on the ball. He can come out of it, he came out of it, he just stride out one time, shifted his body, even that switching the play. These are the little things. This is the John Stones today that we see in a Man City shirt. This is the little shift there. Oh, tends to go back to the goalkeeper and just drives out of it. This is permitting players, the opposing players. This is when panic sets into the opponents. Doesn't amount to nothing, but we've seen the John Stones we're used to seeing.
Exactly. And a great recovery here. Just to get in there. Walker a couple of times, put out of position, he's been there, Gay come over, covered there. But I think what's important to say is the reason when he's stepping out as a centre-back, you're breaking the lines, and you look at the Spain then, they all did retreat, that gives you space in the middle of the park, then to start and play football.
That's the thing, isn't it? If you can break that high Spanish press, then space will open up.
You just need only 1-2 good passes to break 4 or 5 players, and then you got Saka against the fullback, Jude, Harris. So I think as England is playing good, is doing this plan game, and I think in the second half, if they find the right pass, they can do it.
Rio, you spotted Williams going inside, which might create an overlap and a problem for England.
Yeah, on that side of the pitch, definitely Cucurella. They've got a really good relationship. He goes in, he ties down Kyle Walker, and the ball comes out. If they can get it out that side, that's one example. They probably had about 3 or 4 examples of that, where Nico Williams, most of his runs and his movements have been inside of that pitch. He wants to lock down the right back to keep him in, to allow Cucurella to get on the outside.
A slightly more encouraging end to the half for England there. Little flurry of possibilities. I mean, we're clutching at straws a fraction, but a final shot, first shot on target anyway.
Yeah, a little bit. We're talking about when you press high and you get your players into these areas here. Of course, Rodri had to be there.
Amazing block. I think that was going in, you know.
It really probably was. Kane gets a hold of it, but Rodri managed to get back in. And then you've got Foden at the back post. I know he's stretching a little bit. On another day, could he knock it across? And he might be getting a goal there. But in terms of what England need to do in the second half, they need to be a little braver, back themselves, have that confidence to say, okay, we defended well in the first half, but in the second half, we have to up it a little bit more.
Go on.
Yeah, Spain has to be a bit more careful with the misplaced passes. I think they're losing a couple of balls that we are not used to see them losing, and England can do her.
Not as many as England, though. What will Southgate change anything at some point, do you think, possibly? Because England are playing a low block, they might need a bit of pace up front.
That's exactly it. I think, 60, 65, 70 minutes, depending how the game goes. I just think a Gordon in behind, a Watkins running in behind as well could be the difference. But we have to get on the ball and keep the ball. There's no point having the players on the pitch and we're not getting the ball to them.
But England have been most dangerous when you get the ball to Saka. I think he fancies himself against Cucurella. Yeah. When they get the ball out there and they get him 1v1, I think that'll be the message in that change room. Yeah. Get your players up the pitch 1v1, especially Saka, and then you've got the overlaps of someone like Kyle Walker, because we've seen Nico Williams. I don't think he wants to run that way. He's been willing, but at times he's lost Kyle Walker, and then England could be dangerous.
I think any time that Saka has the ball or Nico Williams has the ball, you can feel the energy that something can happen there.
Yeah. What would Spain be most fearful of at half-time? What will he be stressing?
I think the coach will be stressing not to lose the ball in dangerous positions and try to keep doing the same thing. Just move the ball quick, try to play to both wingers and try to create for Morata, which has been working hard but is still waiting for his chance.
Okay, it's only going to get more nerve-wracking, that's for sure. Whatever the result, you'll find something to smile about on iPlay.
Yes, Gary, I've got a really good vantage point pitchside. I'm sitting just by the England benches. Lots for Gareth Southgate to like, but Alex, as we've heard the guys say in the studio, they are being a little bit sloppy in possession, and you actually said you think from where you're sitting that might have something to do with Harry Kane.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because we knew coming into this, Spain have been the best in the tournament in terms of possession and when they hit you at pace, and it's kind of hard for England to get out sometimes because when they do win the ball up and sometimes you're looking for an outlet, that movement from Harry Kane is not there, so you can't even sometimes just pop a ball down into the channels to allow your defenders to get up because that movement's not there, which is really frustrating. And we saw from the other game, especially when Watkins came onto the pitch, he was making those runs, and sometimes it just helps you without even thinking that you can play that ball. So maybe that's where, I suppose from an England perspective, it's really frustrating.
Yeah, talking of frustrating, Jude Bellingham looked like he was getting a little bit frustrated with Harry Kane a few times. What about Bukayo Saka? Because Rio mentioned him then. He's been the star boy of this tournament so many times for England. How do we get him into
boy Saka? And going off the last game, when Saka's on the ball and he gets at you, 1v1, that's what you want to see. We are up out of our seat straight away because he can make things happen. And I think we need to get the ball to him a lot quicker. But sometimes actually, with Walker, sometimes just allow Saka to be in front of you and take that player on 1v1 and allow that to happen. And sometimes just be that support from the back. Obviously, sometimes when Kyle Walker's done it, it works, but it's just switching it up sometimes because we want Saka to do the damage in those areas.
Be interesting to see if he does make any changes. Substitutes warming up. Looks a bit like it's a pop concert in here now, though.
Cole Palmer is warming up, but so are quite a few of the other England players, so don't get too excited at home. England need to get higher, don't they?
Yeah, they want to get higher. And
Somehow.
we always talk about the striking. Obviously, Harry Kane's very isolated, but I think that's down to the way Spain have been on the ball. What does he need to change in the second half?
Well, Harry Kane.
Correct.
Well, I think he's got.
For Phil Foden, no more than that. Roy, we can feel the tension. What's your assessment at the break?
Yeah, there's plenty of tension. Brilliant players on the pitch, but showing a bit of lack of quality, particularly in the final third. But that's players know what's at stake. So there's a bit of nervousness there. England they're hanging in there. What we've seen throughout the tournament. Again, we mentioned before the game, they just have to do a bit more in possession. Kane needs to be a bit sharper, but defensively, I think England do well. They're forcing a while and dealing with the crosses. And as we've seen throughout the tournament, Garrett knows it just needs one moment or somebody off the bench.
What about Luke Shaw then, coming in for his first start since you saw him play a league game in February? What would your assessment be of how well he's played?
I think defensively he'll be really happy, obviously, against Jamal, who's been the player of the tournament without a shadow of a doubt, and he's probably had one of his quietest his first half so far. I mean, England have been poor in possession, but they've been poor throughout the tournament in possession. It's been typical of how we've been playing, but we are staying in the game, and in 1v1 situations, Shaw's been strong. We know actually he's become a really good defender. When he was younger, you would question that a little bit, but he actually has got a lot of power. He's good in the air. He can play against players one-on-one. And this one, he tucks in really well, which is a great position for the opposite left-back. This one, he gets forward. I mean, this is when he is at his best. And
absolutely.
Manchester United and England have missed him in this tournament at his best.
I think what we saw there as well with one of those is the cross-field pass. If we could get that quicker to Saka, I think we could cause even more problems to him. You can see him, he's like Dicko said at the start, he's got on top of him very early as a young player, and he's really staying on top of him.
Yeah, but fatigue will be a problem for Shaw. Again, he's not played for a number of months and they're defending a lot, so you have to keep an eye on that.
Is the elephant in the room, I'm afraid, again, Harry Kane. He's on a yellow card now because he was stretching for it and was clearly a yellow card. What sort of decision does Gareth Southgate have to make, and at what stage does he make that?
Look, it's a struggle for Harry Kane. We look like a team that's going to got a counter-attacking strategy, but without a counter-attack on the pitch. Maybe Saka can on that right-hand side, but if you had Watkins up front, if you had maybe Gordon or Palmer on the other side, you'd have the ability to be able to break from deep positions, and we haven't got that at the moment. And I don't think Spain are going to change. They're going to keep on pushing us back. So I think at some point, maybe 10, 15 minutes in, we may see Watkins come on for Kane.
We've seen a couple of occasions where we've gone long and there's not enough support around and the ball's coming straight back. I'd like to see us really, if we're going to do that, I'd like to see people try and get up and support, because I do believe if we can get that going, we will start getting them on the back foot, because I think it's their centre halves in that space. The centre halves, the left back is where we can cause them problems.
In defensive games, some of the service up to him hasn't been great, but the few that he has got hold of, it's not been good enough.
It's a difficult decision when he's your captain, when he's your talisman, isn't it? He came off in the 80th minute against the
but
Dutch.
as Gareth done through the tournament, Gareth won't be panicking. He'll be staying calm and probably wait till about 15 or 20 minutes to go before he makes that change. Gareth will be calm about that.
Do you think England got a little bit calmer in possession? It was very frantic the first 15, 20. Do you think to any extent they calmed down a little bit with the ball?
A little bit. But do you remember those little bouncy balls you used to have as a kid that used to pop up at you and bounce everywhere? It was like that for us in the first 15, 20 minutes. We were really nervous on the ball, but it's a big occasion. And look, we've been here before. 3/4 of that team have played in this match before, but it's still a lot. And Spain, we know, are technically excellent.
The problem is well, when you chase the ball, you chase the ball not so much when you do get to it, you're so tired, you're looking at options. The players are having a breather just again at the wrong time. That's why it's so tough for them.
You've seen it on some occasions, we've got the ball and we're running. I saw Jude on this side, he had 4 players coming across him. There's not enough support for him. We need to, once we do get it, we need people showing. We need people to show, pass, pop it off, get out maybe the other side and have a go down the other side.
0-0 at half-time. England will be kicking towards their fans, towards us in this second half. Before that, a last chance to win our competition, and we've added an extra £10,000 to the prize fund, with the current total now over £68,000.
Harry, commiserations, given how that game played out, how much does that hurt?
Yeah, I mean, losing in a final is as tough as it gets. I think we've done really well to get back into the game and get back to 1-1, and then we couldn't quite use that momentum to push on. We couldn't quite keep the ball, and then we got punished for it towards the end of the game. So, I mean, yeah, it's as painful as it can be in a football match.
Why do you think you couldn't build on it when Cole did get you back into it?
Sorry?
Why do you think you couldn't build on it when Cole got you back into it tonight?
No, we didn't quite keep the same intensity and pressure, I guess. We didn't quite keep the ball well enough. You know, it's the last stage of the tournament. There's a lot of tired legs. There's a lot of tired mentality there. And, yeah, we just struggled. And then, obviously, we got caught with the ball in behind. And then, yeah, you know, these are down to big moments. We had a big moment at the end there where they cleared one off the line, and it could have been different. But, yeah, for now, it's just really disappointing.
For you personally, how tough as a player and captain has this tournament been? You came off again tonight with England needing a goal.
Yeah, no, it's been a tough tournament. You know, we've had to show a lot of resilience, me personally, and the whole team as well. You know, it's been a difficult ride. We've done extremely well to get here, but ultimately we're going to be judged on this game. You know, we wanted to do it so badly for ourselves, but also for the fans and everyone who's believed in us the whole way. So right now, it's just huge disappointment.
Lots of talk about the manager's future and whether this could have been his last game. Do the players want him to stay on?
Yeah, look, we made it clear we love the manager, but that's his decision. This is not the time to talk about that now. So that's down to him. He'll go away and think about it. Right now, we're all just hurting.
Thanks for your time.
It's a painful business, losing finals, that's for sure. The presentation's going to take place very shortly. We saw Giorgio Chiellini bringing the trophy out. Once again, we're all despondent. Is it ever going to happen?
Listen, I believe with the players that we have an opportunity if they're given the right type of approach to win. This kid is an absolute sensation. 17 years old, 16 when it started, young player of the tournament. Can he win both?
He's just been awarded MVP of the tournament, and I think he deserves so, right? It's just that
Tell us about him. How far can this boy go? I mean, he's so special.
I was having dinner yesterday with Xavi Hernandez, and he was telling me he hasn't seen a player like him in his whole life. He told me the sky.
He played with Messi quite a lot.
And he played with Messi quite a lot. So I'm not a very big fan of making comparisons with players and Messi, but I think the sky is the limit for this kid.
He's not short of confidence. I met him in the lobby earlier, Xavi, and he was saying that when he was manager, he'd come up to him when he was on the bench and say, "I'm the guy. Give me the chance." Confidence. There's the guy. Meet Mike. Go on, take it away.
What a footballer! What a wonderful,
what a player!
Footballer.
Watching him week in, week out at Manchester City. Finally, he said before the tournament he doesn't care about accolades.
He does.
But when he plays this way, I mean, he's been so consistent throughout the tournament. He gets subbed at half-time, which looks like probably an injury. But whether he's manipulating the ball, where he's playing the ball forward, where he's in a defensive position to control the game, everything about him in this tournament was just spot on, and it's fully deserved.